I am fine, sir.
Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear me, sir?
I
Yes,
can
sir.
hear
I can
you.
hear you and I can see you clearly. Wow, you look good, sir.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good to
Good
see
evening,
you,
sir.
man.
Welcome.
Good evening, man.
Wow,
Thank you.
welcome, sir. Welcome to You See Me That podcast. Like, I don't even know what word to use now. Like, I'm speechless. And I'm happy to have you here, sir. The
My
author of
pleasure.
How to Earn a Fee from What You Do for Free. Daddy, welcome, sir. Good evening, sir. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for joining UC Media
Thank you. My pleasure.
podcast. So now we are live now on YouTube. I want to confirm if you are live before I go on, sir.
Okay, beautiful.
Okay, we are live.
Okay.
Good, 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 good. We are live. Okay, good evening, Mr. Niyi. Welcome to UC Media
Yeah.
podcast. So on today's
Good
show,
evening.
we are to talk on how not to be broke in the 21st century.
Awesome.
So you will show us how not to be broke. Even me too, I want to get out of this brokenness. And the others like us or like me, people who are skillful but yet broke. So we want to come out of this
Yeah.
thing. So that's what we'll be talking on today, sir. Welcome, sir. So before we continue, sir,
Yeah.
I would like to know
Thank you,
you.
man.
We want you to introduce yourself by yourself. So it's good to hear from the horse's mouth.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank you, Collins, for having me here. Thank you for all that you do, okay, in your little and big way to change and influence life, right? Thank you, and I must say that well done to you. And it's my pleasure and
Thank you,
honor
sir.
to be here. Thank you also for having me here. God bless you real good. My name is Niyi Soyinka. I love to be called a success catalyst. My mandate is to align men and women as well on the path of greatness through the discovery, the development, the deployment, and the duplication of their potential. It's my belief that there's greatness on every human being, inside every human being, rather, right? So I do this through training, coaching, consulting, authoring books. Like I've had my first book published already. And I'm the lead strategist of BIGshot Consulting, a human resource development firm, right? I'm happily married to a female wife, and we are blessed with boys General David and Ambassador Daniel. So it's good to be here.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. Wow. So Dr. Niyi Soyinka is the author of How Not. Okay, sorry, that's the title of the book. How to Earn a Fee from What You Do for Free. This is the book. Me, I have my copy here. So, but today now, Dr. Niyi Soyinka will be telling us how not to be broke in the 21st century, this era. That I know there are many skillful people, like I read in this book now. Dr. Niyi was once an instrumentalist when he was skillful but broke. But at last, he found out that he can earn a fee from all those things you have been doing for free. So today now he's going to share with us some of the secrets on how not to be broke in this 21st century. Like me now, I am not broke. I'm an example. So I'm a good epitome to show to the world. Since I read this book, man, I can't be broke
Awesome.
again. I can't be broke
Awesome.
again, never. I
Awesome.
can't. So Mr. Lee, go on.
I'm glad to hear that.
Teach us.
Oh, all right, so I can go ahead, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, like I said, I can't overemphasize thanking you, Collins, for all that you do, and thanking you for having me here. Of course, to you and your incredible team, right? I know what it has taken you to come this far. So basically, I'm going to be speaking, like you said, on the team behind my book, right? How not to be broke forever, and how particularly to convert your latent abilities, your skills, and the things that you were naturally born with. Because many times, okay, we love to look outside. It was Fela Durotoye who said something once that I would love to paraphrase. He said, "It's not what you don't have that limits you. It is what you have that you do not know that you have or what you have that you don't know how to use. That's actually my paraphrase, right? I'll say that again. It's not what you don't have that limits you. It is what you have that you do not know you have, or what you have that you do not know how to use. That is likely your limitation, right? So today I want to help somebody out there who has been wondering, how do I make more money, or how do I convert my skills, my talent into profitable ventures? What can I do? Right. So, like Colin said, I was once like that. Okay, having quite a number of gifts and abilities, but unable to trade, unable to earn with them. Right. It is akin to the story of a man in scriptures where we're told somewhere in the book of Ecclesiastes that a man saved a city, right? And however, he was forgotten, right? Because he was a poor wise man. Just imagine somebody saving Lagos City now, from the destruction of maybe, evil or whatever. And suddenly we do not forget the man. We forgot the man, right? He was so wise to solve the city, to save the city, okay? But he was not wise enough to convert that wisdom right into making money. And that's really a tragedy. That's where you find a lot of people in Africa, okay? And that's even one of the dilemmas of Africa, okay? So that's why this subject is coming. Okay? I'm going to take my teaching on three major legs, right? The first thing is that I want to help somebody out there to really find this thing. So I call it the stage of discovery. Then the other stage is what I call the stage of development. Then the last stage is what I call deployment and duplication. I'll say it again for emphasis. Discovery, number one, that's part one of my talk. Part two will be development. Part three will be duplication and deployment. And this is key. So let's cut straight to the chase. Number one, how do you discover this thing, this ability you have on your inside? How do you find it? I don't want to assume that everybody knows, okay? Because Dr. Miles Monroe said something once. Okay, let me not even go there yet. Okay, so one of the first keys. So if you want to follow with me, let's say you wrote A. Okay, A, you wrote discovery. Now under one, you wrote discovery. Then 1A is what I call the power of questions. The power of questions, right? That's 1A. So how to discover these abilities you have? You must be able to, ask questions. Now this is interesting. As simple as it is, somebody's wondering, where's Niyi Soyinka going, right? One of the qualities that any man can ever develop in life, one of the qualities that any woman can develop in life is our ability to ask questions. Because you see, questions are pregnant with possibilities. You are likely where you are because of the questions you ask and those answers you received. And you are likely to change your level based on the new questions you ask and those answers you reveal. It's a skill that everybody should discover. For instance, now, I can tell somebody out here how to discover their purpose in 60 seconds. And I'm going to show you how. How do you discover your purpose in 60 seconds? I just want to emphasize the power of asking questions, okay? So, number one, you need to ask, where am I from? Who am I? What can I do? Where am I going? What are my potentials? What do people celebrate me more for? What do they say I can do? What can you wake me up at 1 a.m. I can do without thinking? What is it that I cannot live in this life without doing? And what is it that I can die doing? Now, if you answer these 7-8 questions I've asked you, I can tell you already that you're automatically on your way to finding your purpose. Now, that's exactly what you can do in every area of your life. For instance, you want to ask, why am I broke? What's the history of poverty in my home? Right? Who has been the richest person in my lineage? What have they done? What of in Africa, in Nigeria, in my community? If you begin to ask this question, I can tell you for free that you are 50% away. They say that a question, or rather, they rather said that a problem shared is half solved. I usually like to say that a question asked is also half the way to solving your problem. I'll say that again. They say a problem shared is half solved. That means if you share your problem, you are already 50% on the way. I also want to say that a problem asked or question asked is also half the way. That's why when you enter a community and you begin to ask certain questions, they begin to wonder, where are you from? This thing is happening already here. Why? And you see, answers are not far away. Listen to me carefully. Answers are not far away. They are just waiting for the right question to trigger them. They are not far away, right? So immediately they hear the right questions, suddenly they gravitate towards you. So you must ask questions, or whether relationship, on your purpose, on your business, in your life. And sure, of course, I'm not saying you should go around to beg. I'm saying ask questions, right? Questions that will probe, that will challenge, and make you think. The second key to discovery, right? So if you want to write, you can write 1B, is what I call the power of hunger, right? I usually love to use the word of Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins said something. He said he has been a master. In fact, what I love to do, I don't like quoting that statement. Let me just read it out. All right. Tony Robbins said something once that I think is very instructive, very, very instructive. Talking about the power of hunger. It is a key to discovering your ability. He said that every great leader I've ever had the privilege to work with, a politician, athlete, musician, or a business servant, got there using one force above all others, and that's hunger. He said, I've met business people, I've met athletes, I've met entrepreneurs, I've met motivational speakers, I've met billionaires, but one force that I've seen that these men and women use above all other force is the force of hunger. All right, this is so key because in his book, My Dream, the Prime Minister of Dubai, or rather the Prince of Dubai, said something very striking. Those were the people who engineered the building of Dubai. He said somewhere in the jungle of Africa, it's good to see you, Chris, all right? Right. He said somewhere in the jungle of Africa, the lion wakes up every morning knowing that for it not to die of starvation, it must outrun the fastest gazelle. The gazelle is an animal. Follow me carefully. The lion says he wakes up every morning and says, for me not to die of hunger, I must outrun the fastest gazelle. The gazelle is also not a fool. The gazelle says, for me not to become a prey, I must outrun the fastest lion. So the lion and the prey are in a battle of running to save their dear lives. Number one, the lion is so hungry, okay, that it doesn't want to die of starvation, so it has to outrun the fastest gazelle. The gazelle she's also so hungry for survival, because two things can kill a man: starvation or becoming a prey. Okay, so you must be so hungry like a lion and a gazelle at the same time. Have the mindset of a lion. You are so hungry that you don't want to die of starvation, you want to outrun the fastest gazelle. Have the mindset of a gazelle that you don't want to be a prey, you want to run. This is very important. So I want to ask today, those things that you want, is it a must have or a nice to have? How hungry are you? A lot of people have talked about IQ. They say IQ is your intelligence quotient. It tells us how intelligent you are. Others say forget IQ. What we need now is EQ. So the subject of emotional intelligence started coming in, many years ago. But as great as they are, they do not tell us about HQ. All right, IQ is your intelligence quotient, EQ is your emotional intelligence or emotional quotient, but HQ is not headquarters. HQ is your hunger quotient. Right? So because you can have great IQ and you can have fantastic EQ, and if your HQ is not aligned, you may not be able to survive in this life. Now, this is very powerful. Okay, so you must be hungry. Yeah, Chris, you must be hungry like a lion. You must be hungry like a gazelle, such that, see, I can say the proof that you want a thing is your passion and your hunger towards it. You can't tell me you want a thing and you are not very hungry. The proof that you want that thing, they say the proof of passion is a pursuit. So hunger, this is how to discover the riches and the greatness that you're able to have to become the best of your kind and to be able to earn money right in this 21st century. I want to run because I want to get to some key part. I'm just trying to lay a foundation. All right. The second stage is this. So I assume now you have discovered those abilities, those greatness on your inside. Okay. The next thing you need to do is to develop them. It's key. Okay. So you know why? Because a lot of people have discovered their abilities. They know they can sing. All right. They know they can do some tech things like Collins. They know they can probably trade. However, for some reason, they've not been able to develop this skill. And it's very important because you see, nobody eats raw meat. Nobody eats raw meat. And so a lot of people's potential is raw. So they are wondering, why am I not making money from it? Why am I broke in the 21st century when I have this skill? The truth is this, your talent must be processed, it must be developed, it must be improved upon. So the first key is what I call the power process. So it's 2A is the power process. And so let me tell you this. Imagine you went out to the market and you came back home buying meat. Then, for some reason, and suddenly your brother was playing around the house. Then he just saw you, auntie, welcome, then he suddenly began to smell something in the handbag of nylon that you brought. And he began to say, this is smelling. Auntie, what did you bring from the market? Uncle, what did you bring from the market? Please, I don't want to carry it again. So you went inside with the meat, right? And the boys refused and started playing outside. Then what do you do with the raw meat? You wash it, right? Sometimes you parboil it, you put it on fire, and the heat, the steam starts coming. Then over time, maybe you want to make barbecue or pepper soup, all right? All you need to do is you pour some condiments, some nutrients, some Maggi, some salt, and all of that. Now, over time, what happens is that you begin to have aroma. It begins to come out of that house. Then suddenly, your same younger brother who was saying that he doesn't want to eat or comes inside and says, auntie, uncle, what's smelling like this? I love this smell. Delicious. What did you tell him? Now, what has happened? Okay, the same meat that was unattractive, by the power of process, has converted it to the same attractive thing. Now, this is key. A lot of us are unattractive in our raw state because we've not undergone the process of adding curry, Maggi, putting ourselves under fire, and all of that. Okay, the same people who rejected us, if we engage the power of process to transform our lives, the same people will say, how come? I can't believe this is you. I want to purchase you. Now, this is exactly what happens. This is key. I wish a lot of people knew this, that you can shift your life totally by 180 degrees if you engage the power of process. There's your generation out there. There's my generation out there who doesn't love process. They want it quick now. So a lot of them also become shooting stars. Shooting stars don't shoot. Then after 6 months, after 1 year, they come down. But if you truly want to go far and stay far, then you must undergo the process. In fact, Jim Rohn said something once. He said, it is better to know how to make $1 million US, right, than to have $1 million. Listen to what he said. He said, it is better to know how to make $1 million than to have $1 million. Now, there's no crime having $1 million. There's no crime. But his intention was that process is key, because even when you lose that 1 million, because you know the process of making that 1 million, you can make it again and again and again. This is powerful. All right. So power process is important to developing your capacity, to developing your skills. The second key, all right, 2B if you want, is what I call the power of becoming a ritualist. Now, of course, before me now, you can't see any knife, you can't see any blood, so you are free and you are safe. Right now, the power of becoming a ritualist is critical. This is one of the teachings I thought, and if you have not listened to anything I've said, listen to this very, very critically, because it has a tendency to change your life. One of the things that will help you develop your skills, or develop your talent, your potential, right, is that you need to undergo what I call a ritual. Now, a ritual doesn't necessarily have to be killing. It's not the only word that refers to killing. Ritual also means what you do consistently. So the Muslim, for instance, have a 5-day, they pray 5 times a day. That's a prayer ritual. Some Christians go to church every Sunday, some are every Wednesday or Tuesday. That's a Sunday ritual. So whatever you do consistently is called a ritual. This is powerful, all right? So if you want to change your life, you must engage in a ritual. Now, this is key.
Yes.
Right? This is so powerful. Yeah.
Some people confess ritual to those people that do blood money. Like when I was reading your book, when I saw somebody was going through the context, somebody was going through the content when he saw become a ritualist. You're like, Collins, what are you reading? Just kill somebody. I was like, no, now. And that title just grabbed his attention. He went to read the book. I was like, man, this book mad.
Yeah.
This book mad. Where am I from? The guy wrote this book. He refused to give me the book back.
Wow.
I had to call him before he gave me the book back. Because when I see the title, I was like, become a ritualist. I just can't become a say, God forbid, I cannot this kind of book. I don't want to become a ritualist.
all right, thanks, man. I love that interlude. So that's the idea, all right? The ritual is what you do consistently. So they've told us out there, okay, if you listen to a lot of motivational speakers, all right, Gladly, I've got my motivational speaker, proudly one. Those of you who criticize motivational speaker, that's your business. All right. Now, my point is that some of these speakers, they will tell you your future is on your inside. Some others will tell you, well, your future is in your hands. Others will say, well, your future is tied to your past. Some will say, who are futuristic, they will say your future is in tomorrow. Others who are very spiritual, like Collins, will say your future is in the hand of God. All right. So, and that's very important. Some will say 5 areas. Listen, 5 areas where your future is, and they are absolutely right. They say your future is on your inside. Some say your future is in your hands. Some say your future is tied to your past. Some say your future is in tomorrow. And some say your future is in the hands of God. There's one area they do not tell us where your future is. There's one area they do not tell us where my future is. Your future and mine is in what we do consistently. Your future and mine is in what we do daily. So show me what you do daily in the last 7 days. I may be able to predict your future with some certainty. Take this from me. I'm telling you, literally, you can change your life, the shape of your life, the direction of your life, if you decide to say every day for 1 hour, I want to invest in this area. I want to learn graphic designs. I want to learn website making. I want to learn this and that. The guy who developed my website applied this principle, and he earned 50K for making my website. He didn't go to a coding school per se, but he sat down on YouTube, ingesting, digesting, reading, watching videos, all right, enrolling in some online courses every day. I can tell you, in 3 months, you will not see.
And he made that website. That was what I visited today.
Oh, you saw it? Yes, he made the website.
Yes. Wow, I can't believe that you not learn coding. Wow, so big.
No, he didn't learn coding.
Awesome.
Wow. He didn't learn coding. He just did it.
The guy is too good. So that's the power of ritual.
You can imagine. So yes, the power of consistently. And so this is key. So please, let's take it very seriously. All right, your future and mine is hidden at the end. Let me give you a story. Venus Williams and Serena Williams, many years ago, the people who proved this concept of rituals are two areas: those who are in the military and those who are athletes. Let me stay on those who are athletes. I mean, from the Usain Bolts of this world to the tennis players called tennis players to Tiger Woods who play golf. But let me tell you about the Williams sisters. The Williams sisters is made up of Venus and Serena Williams. They play the lawn tennis. All right. In fact, many years ago, their father, if you go on YouTube now and type Venus and Serena at age 10 or 11, you will see young girls who were being coached by their father. In fact, at one time, their father predicted that the younger Serena will do much more than Venus, and it has really happened. But that's not even where I'm going. All right. But it's the concept of putting them on the tennis court every time. But during the lockdown, this was what happened. Serena Williams has a daughter who is called Olympia. Olympia is about 4 years old. All right. She started taking her to the courts to play the tennis. Now, in the next 5 or 7 years, Olympia, the daughter of Serena, may now become a junior champion. Then you and I can see now at the back of our screen, we say, these people, he did their blood. No, sir, he not did their blood, he did their routine. This is powerful. He not did their blood.
That is what people will say. That's what people will say. People will say he did their blood.
Yes.
People.
Yes. That's what people will say. They say he did their blood. No, sir, he did their routine. You can imagine if she's doing that every day. She's on the tennis court 3 times a week or 7 days a week. She becomes a pro and she becomes a junior champion. That's exactly what you can do. The 4th thing, okay, under the power of or the power of development, remember we're still on number 2, development, is what I call the power of volunteering and service. This is what this generation doesn't want to hear. We don't want to serve, all right? We don't want to serve people. We don't want to, Collins, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, Sam. It's you, Sam, yeah.
Okay, fine. All right, they do not want to serve. They do want, you must, 2 things you must serve, or two beings you must serve. You must serve a cause, or you must serve a person. This is key. Okay, somebody came to Jesus once, all right? They came to him and said, the mother of Zebedee, Mrs. Zebedee, the mother of James and John. She said, Jesus, I've heard about you. Your kingdom is going very far. I want one of my sons to be on your right, the other to be on your left when you get to your kingdom. Jesus said, well, mommy, I'll show you a formula. He said, anybody who wants to be chief amongst you, anybody who wants to be king amongst you, anybody who wants to be great amongst you, I'm paraphrasing Jesus, he said, must first be a servant. So the root to greatness, the route to height unseen is number one, to become, all right, somebody who volunteers, who serves a cause. See, the benefit of serving or volunteering is powerful. That's why I love the Igbo concept. There's nothing that beats the Igbo concept of learning. That's what I'm talking about. Volunteering is key. I hope you know that this concept that the Igbos use of training boys who later in 15 or 10 years they are released freedom. I hope you know it's been studied in Harvard. All right, it's a powerful concept. Let's not be that generation that doesn't want to serve. You want to become your own boss. There's no crime there, but serve a boss first. It's going to make the journey easier because you're going to learn from his mistake. All right, he may empower you. All right, he may show you the right path. It's like some of us have watched Nigerian film. They will say Abigail, Abigail, Abigail. How many times did I call it? 3 times. You see this path you want to take. 25 years ago, I took this path, and this was what led me here. The power of volunteering and mentoring. All right. So why do you have to reinvent the wheels when somebody has gone through it? Why do you have to reinvent the wheels when you can learn? So this is key. Your generation and mine must embrace the concept of volunteering, must embrace the concept, all right, of serving. Please serve. Please serve is key. Okay, it gives you platform. Service also gives you a platform, right? It was Steve Harris that was serving Fela Durotoye passionately, and from there he found his path. From there, literally, it changed his life. The key to Steve Harris, who we submit today, was his ability to go and volunteer and serve. He may not look attractive. He may not look beautiful.
I haven't heard that Steve Harris, there was a time he was even, then Fela Durotoye message, he was now turning it to audio version and selling it. That was one of the things that caught Fela Durotoye attention more.
Very true, Collins. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what happened. I hope you can still hear me. Hello? I think our signal is weak. I want to be sure Collins can hear me before I go ahead.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, it was you, right? I thought it was me. Okay, fine. So you were right about Steve Harris and Fela Durotoye. Now, the last thing in the place of development, all right, is to develop a product or a service. Now, this is where the journey begins. All this one I've said so far is just an introduction. This is where the journey begins. Your ability to develop a product or a service is that thing, one of the things that can deliver you from being broke in this 21st century. Is that thing that will help you earn a fee from what you do for free. Is that thing that will help you make money from your latent potential. This is very important. Your ability to either have your product. The minimum you can do in earning a fee from what you do for free is to convert that thing into a product or a service, or have somebody's product or service that you can do likewise with. This is important. All right. So develop a product, okay, or develop a service. You want to write a book, you want to write a course, you want to build a course, okay, you want whatever it is that can, whatever service or product, that is the key in this 21st century. What products do you have? If you tell me you are broke, I need to ask you, what product do you have? What service have you developed? Or if you don't have a product or service, whose product or whose service are you developing or building or becoming an affiliate marketer for? That's taking it too far. So please develop a product or a service.
Yes, so yes, I just talk about that affiliate marketing. Because people that say that I'm not skillful, I have nothing. So I would say, okay, if you don't have anything, then go and get a job or go and sell for somebody. That's it.
Absolutely. All right. So go get somebody. So, but now I'm saying that develop a product or a service. Somebody is now beginning to wonder. Niyi Soyinka, all right, okay, I'll go and write a book. Niyi Soyinka, okay, let me go and work an album, or let me go and do an EP. There's no crime there. But before you go too far, let me tell you this. You must engage what we call a starving market. You must understand the concept called a starving or a thirsty market. This is important. A lot of people will finish from this studio and say, okay, I'll write a book tomorrow. But listen to me. There's a concept called the starving market. So this is the example I love to use. Just imagine all of us, everybody watching me, including Collins, myself, all of us are in a physical room somewhere in Lagos. Okay. And that room is stuffy. There's probably no light, no ventilation, so no fan and everything. So we are choking. Heat is everywhere. Then suddenly my boys, I have two boys, David and Daniel. They now came into the hall, all right, and they brought this water out, and they say, how much is this water? Some people will say, well, 100, 150, depending on where you are, 1,000 and all of that. Well, they now said, okay, our daddy has taught us the concept of starving crowd. So they came to the market and they came before us and said, you know what, guys, this water we're going to sell it for 500 naira. What we can get on the street for 100, they say 500 naira. Now, what have my boys done? Okay, they came to a market that was ready. They came to a thirsty market and they sold out. One of the problems that you and I have is not that we don't have a great product, is that we do not have the right market. We do not have the starving market. So it's your duty to find that market. So what I'm saying is that before you develop that product or you have an idea of the product you want, keep it at home. Go to the market and go and look for where those people are. Okay, then you say, this is where they are. They are on Facebook in this group. Okay, they are located in Alaba. This is where they are. This is where they are. So you are now able to when you are coming, you will now narrow your marketing, your selling, and everything you do to those people. In fact, it is those people that will help you develop the product you want to create. Because a lot of people create products that they like. No, it's not necessarily what you like. Okay, you are not the one eating what you are going to make. You are not the one reading the book you are going to write. No, you've got to go to the market and know what she wants and go and create it for her. This is powerful. You will have a bestseller automatically. Collins wants to say something.
Yes, some people are too religious about creating products. They will like, I'm a Christian. I know that if I do this thing now, God will make it to sell. That's what they should do. They are too religious about that selling of a thing. They'll not go and look for the starving card. They are too religious. They say, I know the God that I serve. The God that I serve will bring people to buy. At the end, they will end up being broke. Nobody will buy. The thing will just be there. The thing will spoil. Absolutely. Something that is spoiling.
You are right, Collins. And that's what happened. So, Collins has made a very, very fair point. We all believe in God. We all believe in the power of the Holy Ghost. But we know that God has also given us a wisdom and a concept. All right? To develop these things. Because, in fact, this concept of starving crowd comes from a man. Is it Gary that is his name? I think it's Aki Alabi that said it in his book. And I also adopted it in my book. He said, he was a man, anytime he wants to teach a class. All right, fine. Anytime you want to teach a class, he will tell them, if you want to find a restaurant today, if you want to start a restaurant today, what will you do? Some will say, well, they will pray for God to make their food sell. Some will say, I'm praying to God to make me have great staff. I'm praying to God to make me sell every day. Now, he said, well, all of them are right. He said, but one of the things you ask God for.
It's Gary Harvard. Gary Harvard.
Gary Harvard. Good, Gary Harvard. Beautiful. Thank you for the name. So Gary says, don't pray all of those prayers. The main prayer you need to pray is that God should give you or lead you to a starving crowd. And that's powerful. Because when you go to a starving crowd, even if you are selling junk, I'm not promoting junk, but that's the idea. Even if you are selling junk, but because you're in a starving crowd, they want to eat, they will eat it. So do you understand what I'm saying? So this is very powerful. Then the last stage is what we call the deployment and the duplication stage. How do you now deploy and duplicate it? What have we said so far? You need to discover those things on your inside. How do you discover it? Number one, by asking question. Number two, by being very hungry. Number two, we said, how do you develop what you have discovered? You must engage the power of process. Number two, you must become a ritualist. Number three, we said that you must volunteer. And number four, we said you must develop a product or a service. All right. Then the last one is to deploy and to duplicate these things that you have found. How do you do that? The first key is what I call the power of visibility. Visibility. If you're out there streaming, just write visibility. Now, this is very powerful. This is very powerful. Visibility is key. Visibility is key. All right. You must be intentional. All right. For people to know you. If people do not, there's a concept called KLT, Collins, and I know it's a very popular concept. KLT simply means know, like, and trust. So people will buy from you, people will purchase from you if they know, like, and trust you. Okay, and one of the ways for people to know you, one of the ways that people will like and trust you is when they see you every time. If they do not see you, they cannot know you. If they do not see you, they cannot like you, and if they do not see you, they cannot trust you. So it's important, ladies and gentlemen, that you are visible. You are visible. Listen, I tell people that best is no longer the best. Best is the most visible. Now, listen, let me give a practical example. Let's imagine that I am Collison's boss. All right. So me, I love to draw. All right. So we are these apparelist actors. All right. Those guys, recently some guys came up and started drawing pencil very beautifully with pencil. They started drawing people, and some of them are making a kid out of it. So I taught Collins. However, I'm very reserved. I'm better than Collins. Is my boy. Imagine. But I'm very reserved. I believe my time will come. In fact, people who know me little, they say, Niyi, you are so good. One day your time will come. There's nothing bad there. However, Collins, who I trained, anytime he does a little artwork, he puts it on Facebook. He puts it on his WhatsApp status. All right? He does all of that. Now, listen, the person you will call best is not me because you don't see me. The person you will call best is the person you are seeing. So best is no longer the best. Best is the most visible. Let me say that again. Best is no longer best. Best is the most visible. So there are a lot of people who are doing better than you, not because they are better than you. They are doing better than you because they are being seen. This is important. The best singer is in a corner, is in one village. The best musician, the best instrumentalist is in one lungu somewhere. Lungu means a corner in Hausa. All right? It's in one corner, not showing itself. They are not on Facebook. They are not on Twitter. However, we don't know they are the best. It's the man I see that I will call the best, and it's that person I'll buy my product or service for. Go ahead, Collins.
About that best, people like they do say, if I come out now, people will attack my family member, my this thing, my dad. They'll just have somebody in mind that they will, because of somebody they want to show up. So what do we do to those people? What do you have to for them, sir?
So thank you very much. Listen, whether you show yourself, in fact, I want to tell you, somebody who's typing there, type show yourself. Show yourself is very important. Now remember this. I've taken you through a phase. You must have gone through all these phases, because I'm not saying you should go out prematurely. All right. So you must have gone through the stages I've listed before. This is the balance. Okay. So I'm not saying you should go out now. You are going out creating mediocre products. No excellence. All right. Look at the concept of Collins is building. Look at the shape of the studio that we are. Excellent work. That's what we're talking about. Somebody else can be doing this kind of thing, and everywhere is crappy, and everywhere is not fine. And they say because they say I should show up, I'm showing up. But I'm not saying you should show up crappy. I'm saying that you must have gone through a process. Now, but let me answer Collins' question particularly. See, let me tell you this. Whether you do good or bad, whether you do good so much, people will talk. Whether you do bad, people will talk. So keep doing what is right. Keep doing what you need to do. In fact, listen to me. Thank you, Chris. All right? In fact, listen to me. If, for instance, now, you die for somebody, okay, and you die by shooting yourself, you shot yourself and you die because of that person. When you go to heaven, the person is likely to tell you that you kill yourself, I'm happy, thank you. But why did you use a gun now? You should have used a cutlass. That's exactly how people are. They must keep talking. So allow them talk. In fact, some of them will begin to say, which day you join motivational speaker? Collins, which day you start this thing? Now, wow. See, listen to me. Keep showing yourself, because the world is in need of your value. The world is in need of you. You must not be shy. In fact, Jesus said, let your light so shine. He said, how can you put a candle and put it under a bushel? He said, let your light so shine. It's your responsibility to let your light shine. It's your duty. He said, you are a city set. A lot of people read that passage and go. No, he said, you're a city because there are many cities. You must be set. You must be positioned so that people can see you. So I'm telling somebody out there, you develop passive capital, you've gone through the process. Show yourself. Go on Facebook, go on Twitter, all right, meet people, ask for opportunities to volunteer, ask for opportunity to speak, to impact people, or to create product. Never be shy. The next thing, all right, is the power of marketing. This is key, and I'm going to begin to round up now. The power of marketing is key in duplicating and deploying your potentials. One of the reasons why people are broke in the 21st century is that they do not love to sell. Is that they say they are not born to sell. Listen to me. Your money, let me say this very emphatically. If you don't have anything, hear me down. Your money and mine is not necessarily in a product or service. Your money and mine is in selling. This is key. I'll say it again. Your money and mine is not in our product or service. Ultimately, your money and mine is in what we are in, is in selling. Because you can have a great product and you can keep. Imagine I kept this my book. Collins will not see it. I will not be in the studio today. But it's a beautiful book. The cover is, the designs are fine, the labels are fine, the content are fine, but that's not where my money is. My money is in selling. It is not in the content. It is in selling. So this is a powerful principle. So your money is in selling. So you must be able to sell shamelessly. Shameless marketing is what is the new concept we call it out there. Without shy. Selling. Sell. Don't be shy. When we're selling this book, under 1 month we sold 500 copies. Under 90 days we already sold 600 copies. Under 1 year we already sold over 1,500 copies thereabout. We're close to 2,000 now in under 2 years. Right? Why? We kept selling. Every time on my WhatsApp status, almost every day on my Facebook, I kept talking about the book. Let me give you a few. Let me give you the concept. There are many concepts to sell. All right, you can sell through content writing. You can sell through, but let me give you the concept of copywriting. Selling through copywriting. Now, imagine I have this phone. I'm going to use an example between Chris and Collins. So let's imagine that Chris wants to teach a class. All right, and Chris calls. Both of us want to teach people how to make money. Okay, we want to teach people how to make money from their phones. So Chris calls his class How You Can Make Money from Your Phone. That's the title of his class, 5,000 naira. Then Collins goes ahead to call his class How I Made 500,000 from My Phone in 2 weeks, and how you can do the same. Now tell me, whose class will you attend? It's automatic. You know already. Now listen, Chris may be better than Collins. Yeah, Chris may be better than Collins. However, Collins understands the concept of copywriting, how to use headlines, how to use words to get buyers, how to use. It's very powerful, because you can have a fantastic product. The label is what is teaching you. For instance, now, how did our book sell? It was the grace of God, it was marketing, it was skill. But when you see the title already, you are saying, how to make a fee from what you do. You don't have to think twice. You mean I can make what I do for free, I can make money? That's the thinking. All right, it's very important. So you must. So there was a book called Astrological Love. I wrote it in my book too. I'm rounding up now. It's called Astrological Love. That's the title of the book. The book in 1 year sold about 2,000 copies. Now, if you sell 2,000 copies, you are said to have done averagely well in the US. But one guy stumbled on the book. He said, "Wow, everything about this book is great, but the title is not great." So he said, "I want to buy the copyright of the book and change the title of the book." So he bought the copyright. Two things he changed. He changed the cover and the title. So he changed the book from Astrological Love to what he called How to Let a Woman Want You, something like that. How to Make a Woman Want You and Never Leave You. I'm just paraphrasing. That's not the exact word. Right?
Yeah. How to make a woman beg you for more.
Okay, fine. All right. So you remember very well. That same book sold about, is it 2.5? 2.5 million copies in another 1 year. The difference was the cover and the title. That is the power of copywriting. It can change your life forever. If you can't go and study, go and learn, go and enroll in courses of copywriting out there, it can change your life, and it can change. Another way to leverage on is to leverage two more things. Is to leverage on the digital space. Leverage on the digital space, gentlemen. All right, it's very important. Okay, the digital space is powerful. I'll give you two stories, then I close. There's a guy in Kaduna, I live in Kaduna, called Eli Waduba. Right? By digital space, I'm referring to social media particularly. Eli Waduba is one of the guys I mentioned earlier who draws people with pencil. So he drew people. He drew somebody. And who was the person he drew? He drew, what's his name now? This American author called Kevin Hart. He drew Kevin Hart. Now he now said, he went on Twitter and said, "You know what, guys? Anytime you see this, I've been able to draw my favorite actor in the world. Anytime you see it on your timeline, please retweet until Kevin Hart sees it. Interestingly, you know what happened? Kevin Hart saw this thing a few days later, and Kevin Hart said, I love this, and I want to commission you to do more for my friends. After a few months, Kevin Hart didn't contact him. By the time Kevin Hart would contact him again, he didn't even ask for anything. He gave him 10,000 US dollars. He transferred it to him. Now, that's a power. $10,000 right now is around 6 million naira, if you want to call it, for just showing up on Twitter. There's a guy again in the University of Ibadan called Farouk, Oswalale Farouk. Oswalale Farouk said, okay, if you know very well the logo of Innocent Vehicle Motors, it's just IVM. It looks archaic. It looks old school. So Oswalale said, okay, no, I want to redesign this website for Innocent Vehicle Motors. So he went to Twitter, just like Eli Waduba. He redesigned the logo and shot it out. The management of Innocent Vehicle Motors saw it after a lot of retweets. They said, well, our MD wants to see you so that we can discuss further. Of course, they say they cannot do all those things now. When they are ready, they're going to do it. But that a 200 level student, that thing changed the story of that guy forever. I'm saying that you must show yourself again on social media. It's a powerful house. See, if Facebook was a country, it would be the country with the largest population in the world. If Facebook and WhatsApp together were a continent, they will be larger than Asia, which is the largest continent in the world. So you are staying on a gold mine. All these, when you are going to post, you are posting sleeping things, falling in the gutter things, bomb things. You are not ready for business. You are not ready for big deal. You must be intentional and deliberate. All right. Then finally, you must build the right relationship. You want to deploy and duplicate. Number one, be visible. Number two, market. Number three, leverage on the digital space. Number four, build strategic relationships. It's key. Who you know sometimes trumps what you know. Jesus Christ, our Lord, listen to me. He couldn't do much. I'm rounding up now, Collins. He couldn't do much until the Bible tells us that there was a voice in heaven who said, this is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased. Even Jesus was caged. Jesus blew. Jesus blew after his relationship with God was enhanced. It was his relationship with God that changed the story. So your relationship with men, with God, of course, and relationship with people, strategic alliances, just a phone call, just somebody who will say this, who will say that, who will recommend you, who will say Collins is good, this can change your life. So be very intentional about building strategic alliances. I believe you got value today. One thing I want you to help me to do, all right, is that this UCE Media podcast, I want you to help me spread the word. That's one favor I want. Apart from asking you to get this book because it's going to change your life, Collins, you need to tell that guy to get this copy. But one thing I want to beg you to do above all is that please share this video, all right? Share the link with your friends, put them on your status. I'm not just saying this video, all of the podcasts that come from UCE, ensure the minimum you can do is to let this word spread. You can't add value, you can't hide value. Ensure that you market it to the rooftop. All right, let people know, send the link to them, let them watch, let them join us live. Those who cannot join live, let them watch later. That's the minimum I plead with you so that Collins' message and this media will go viral. I love you and thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Niyi Soyinka. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Like, man, you touch every part of this book. Like, I will share what I learned just now. Like, as if, hey God, this is American MBA course. Now, what you touched on, you spoke on purpose discovery. This is what I learned here. Purpose discovery. You talk about gifts, talent, and skills. You even taught us about selling. If it's not just tell us about selling, even teach us the right way to sell, the right market, the right offer. This is what you touch, and all in this one book. One book is teaching you all these things. Look at what you said. You even talk about branding. You see the things you shared with us. You talk about branding, service creation, and marketing. You talk about the 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 KTU. There is no like and trust. This is what you talk about. And you talk about, you even share that the best is no longer the best. Best is the most visible. And you talk about that guy that did the website now. Like, I've learned, and it's true. People don't know the power of YouTube. They go to YouTube to watch comedy. That's what they watch. They don't know that there's something that they can learn with those data that are managing. Some people say they are managing data. I mean, me, I'm not managing data again. me, I stopped managing data. Since I know the power of internet, I'm not competing with somebody in Nigeria. I know my competition is somewhere in America or anywhere in the world. Like, in fact, the last part you just shared now is about relationship. Relationship is the most powerful, because relationship now that brought you, even for relationship, I don't know how I would have access to you. So relationship is the most powerful. Relationship is the key. Relationship is capital. Some people say I don't have capital for this, I don't have money for this, I don't have. Relationship is capital. That's what I want to tell people. Like, Dr. Niyi, thank you so much. And this book, if you want this book, just reach out to me. Anywhere you are in Nigeria, I'll make sure that this book gets to you. And there's an offer. There's a bonus for this book. I have all the bonuses. Dr. Niyi, please share the bonuses you have for this book. Like
Okay,
when you
so
shared
I
with
have
me, like I
four
know all the
bonus.
things you shared.
All right, yeah. Like I have
Yeah.
anybody who gets this book. All right, the book is 5,000, but we're doing a 40% discount. We may reduce the discount again to 30%. When we're selling the book newly, we're selling it at 50% discount. So people were getting it for 2.5. People forgot it for over a year for 2.5. It was ridiculously cheap. I did it intentionally so that my audience will get it, so they're not complaining because of money, because I wanted it to get to people's hand. All right, but right now it's 40%, it's just 3,000 naira. All right, it's obvious because production cost has also
Wow,
gone
wow,
high.
wow.
All right, but if you get the book, all right, you're going to have 4 amazing bonuses worth for 19,500 naira for free. Right, it's going to be some of my best audio teachings. All right, on building strategic alliances, building strategic
Sorry, sir.
relationships.
Before you go on, I went to your website. Those bonuses, I saw that you are even selling them separately. I saw one of the bonus you're selling
Of
15,000. I was
course,
like, hey, this you gave me
of
for free.
course,
In fact, they are selling it in the
yeah,
website. I was like, what?
yes,
So all this you are getting it for free.
yes.
Please continue to share with them.
Thank you. So you're going to get. So thank God I have a witness here. All right, you're going to get them for free. All right, how to convert your passion to profit, how to build strategic alliances. I taught on success system, 4 quality audio materials that on a good day you get for 19.5. But for getting this book, you're going to get those materials for free. That's crazy. All right, so hurry. Get this book. Of course, you can reach True Collins and you can get the book, but don't miss those offer. I tell people that anytime you read this book, if you do not get value from the book, I'll give you a money back guarantee. I'm going to give you back your money, all right, and dash you the book at the same time. That's what I can guarantee you. But I can tell you, your life can never remain the same. One thing that endeared me to Collins was because of this book. Collins read the book and he was literally shouting. And it endeared me to him. And when he asked me to come on his program, I said, with all pleasure, I'll be here. How inconveniencing it is, all right? Because of the short notice, but I said, I'm not going to be here because I believe in what he does. All right. So please go get this book and go get these bonuses. Your life will take a quantum shift. Thank you and good evening one more time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Niyi. So we've come to the end of this. Thank you so much. Thank you. But before we leave this day, what is one word for us, sir?
My word is still one. Everybody, UCE Media podcast, all right, Umeh Collins podcast, go share them. Those who are here, follow UCE Media Facebook page. That's all I'm saying, all right? Get this podcast out there, not just this, all right? Everyone he has produced. Get the link, share them on your WhatsApp status, share them on the WhatsApp groups you belong to, all right? Then follow on Facebook and follow Collins and share his message. That's all I'm asking for. No more. No.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much,
much.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for this endorsement. So, how do we follow
Yeah.
you on social media? What's the social media handle on Instagram? So, those who want to follow,
Okay.
we
It's
follow.
at Niyi Soyinka. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of them is one name. YouTube, I have a YouTube, all right, video where I've sung him course
Yes, I've
or
watched most of the
dozens of
videos on
short
YouTube.
short videos. Yeah, just
30
60 seconds
seconds,
video, though
30
they are
minutes, 1 minute.
transformational. 60 seconds, yeah, 60 seconds with Niyi Soyinka, amazing. All right, so just go Niyi Soyinka is spelled, that's my name there on the screen. All right, so Niyi Soyinka, that's my name. All of Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Niyi Soyinka, you'll find me there. Follow me, and if you're following me, just let me know you are from Collins. I'm going to follow you back right away. All right.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, you mean that anybody that's getting this book,
Excuse me.
your book, because of this UC Mera podcast, giving it for 3,000 naira, sir? Is that what you just said?
Yes. That's what I just said. Instead of
Thank you,
5,000,
sir.
it's
We
3,000
thought the
there.
bonus is for
Yeah.
free. We thought the bonus
Yes,
is
so with all
for
the
free.
bonuses. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
sir.
Thank you
Like,
so
I
much.
really appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I'm grateful, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, let's call
My
it today.
pleasure.
Bye-bye, sir.
All right. God bless you.
Bye. Thank you, sir.
God bless you. Thank you, Collins. Yeah.